Let's go. I'm going to pick up game 1 of Cyriius versus DeathRealm. Seeing if the combo does anything sweet. Cyriius is, however, 4-2. So not in top pot. We'll see. It's a smaller-ish tournament, so the bracket math, I'm not 100% sure, but we might see some entertaining games here. So I'm going to go ahead and check out how Cyriius is doing. Versus DeathRealm, Mono Blood, Bloodspinner Zorath.
Okie dokie. The old Plague combo. Something we saw earlier on that worked out quite well, honestly, when it went off. And Bloodspinner Zorath on the other side. Cool. Really big fan of this deck. Looks like he has the Threshold sorted as well. We see the Spy in hand, the Crypt Dust in hand, and the Deathseeker in hand too. Plus, you know, a couple of high quality troops there in the form of Hierophant and Crusader. So it's looking okay. Prince comes down, and on the other side of the board we see the Crypt Dust come in, which is likely going to mean a little bit of Spy. We see the Succubus too. We see the Massacre on the other side as well. It's interesting. The Bride of the Damned could actually throw a spanner into the works here. Another Crypt Dust gets a wild and Hierophant joins the party. Ooh, he's gonna like that Strangle. Strangle means that the death cry for Deathseeker is online. Blood's Favor chooses to draw 2. This could be good. Again, Bride of the Damned is definitely scary. Crusader comes in with speed, and Deathseeker comes in, removes the cards that are in the crypt there to get his powers online as well. And there go the double Blight Blossom charge power as well. So all that is needed right now is a sacrifice outlet. If this Massacre is used, it actually makes the Deathseeker overpowered. There it is. There's the Massacre. That might be the biggest mistake that DeathRealm has ever made. So, we can now summon a billion Blight Blossoms every turn. Just whack the Deathseeker in, rinse, repeat. We see the swing here. Blight Blossom, Blight Blossom. Oh man, this is good.
If only we could give it minus cost.
Indeed, indeed. I'm telling you, young Sia. It's a lot of Blight Blossoms, and it's only gonna get worse. The Vampire Princess is good. Like, it does gain some health. It kills off one of these dudes, and the Bride of the Damned on top of that is also pretty good as well. So we've got Emperor's Lackey here coming in. Maybe to try and sacrifice off that Crusader to draw some cards, but we're going to get some more Blight Blossoms. Sacrificing off the Blight Blossom that's blocked to stop the health gain. It's pretty tasty. And there's our Deathseeker friend again.
A Bride not in play with 5 blood resources to stop this either. Just slightly slow for that. Vampire Princess gains 2 health. Peeks at the hand. Here's Bride of the Damned. Emperor's Lackey sacrifices Underworld Crusader in response. Still gets it, but gets 2 cards. Takes Emperor's Lackey. But what do you do against? Is this 15 Blight Blossoms?
15,000 Blight Blossoms. It is 14, I think. 14, yeah. Pretty good stuff, but it's lethal anyway. That Massacre, I guess he just didn't realize what was about to happen.
Which, until you see it in action, is a very understandable thing.
Yeah, totally. Good stuff. That was pretty fun to watch, if nothing else.
And now you know, and many of you do know. So now that DeathRealm has realized what's going on, he gets to play in game 2 and try to take back another game. Both players 4-2, trying to get 5-2, get as high as possible, perhaps even breaking into top 8. All right, game is loaded up. Cyriius up 1 game in this round 7 match. DeathRealm Mono Blood versus Combo Diamond Wild Blood.
Okay, Gemborn, Prince, Rockcast. Gemborn is okay. Rockcast pretty good. Vampire Prince pretty good. Okay, so I like the Zorath hand here, but Zorath is proving to be just slow enough that this combo deck can sink its teeth in. We see the double Crypt Dust, but no Necrotic, Scouring Light to destroy all constants. It's worth noting because that does very much hinder the main card advantage engine of this deck. And we see a Rotpaw Gang and a Hierophant as well there, so interesting.
The Rotpaw Gang is in fact a Necrotic. Anderson here.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Wow. Okay. Of course it is.
The Shinhair gets all the credit. The
Shinhair does get all the credit. That's true.
Alright, starting resources. Blood, more blood, because, DeathRealm doesn't have any other option. Vampire Prince.
There's our boy. There's our boy, the Deathseeker. And fortunately for DeathRealm, when that Hierophant comes down, he's got something to void it instead of killing it. There's the scrounge, though. The Vampire Prince has actually aided the Deathseeker's abilities. True story.
Perhaps the deck is positioned to take advantage of the vampires in the format. Varying all these cards, the Kagalichus.
Deathseeker only needs one dude.
Well, Deathseeker wants 4, but one for its initial scrounge is okay. 4 for its return it to hand Deathcry.
It's 2. Vampire Prince is just helping things along here. Slowly but surely the Vampire Prince is making things happen. So we see actually the scrounge here for the Death's Head Rider, which is kind of interesting.
So it's not helping the Deathseeker, it's helping the Death's Head Rider.
Right. So ultimately what that Vampire Prince just did is kill itself.
Gemborn Prowler. only has the Blood Death Cry, not the Wild Death Cry, but the Blood one gives you a 3/3 when Abomination when Gemborn Prowler dies. It's not bad. Underworld Crusader from Cyriius, Emperor's Lackey. Troops bigger than 3/3.
Looking pretty good here, honestly. We've got the threats and we've got the sacrifice outlet too in the form of Naive Lackey.
Five resources. Massacre's an option. Strangle's an option. Rockcast can take out any of these troops. Rockcast on Emperor's Lackey, removing the sacrifice outlet.
Knows what the threat is, but and doesn't play Malice, notably, which is very interesting. I guess the Strangle is the play then.
Holding up Strangle. Likely using it on Underworld Crusader, even though, you know, giving your opponent 2 cards is always a risky proposition. Cyriius able to play Rockpaw Gang. I mean, you don't have to combo out, just play Power Blood. And Rockpaw Gang in play. Strangle could have been played in response to that, but leaving it out there means Rockpaw Gang can sacrifice it for flight. Lots of things to learn from this game.
Waltz of the Damned! That is definitely a way to stop that combo.
But in order to get there, DeathRealm needs to get to 7, currently at 5 resources. There's one.
There is one.
Playing Zentos and Malice, sacrificing the Dreadling.
We do know one thing for sure, and one thing that is for sure is that this Scouring Light is going to get played so fast.
I'm clicking and nothing is happening.
Yeah, so we see the swings. It's a good 8 damage in the sky. Scouring Light takes out those 2, and I think you're kind of sad now. Put some spiders in first, though, why not?
Putting DeathRealm down to 10 health.
A fresh Deathseeker without the scrounge effect there.
There's 2 in hand, so...
Up that charge power. There's the resource. And, yeah, that Waltz of the Damned is now online.
And that puts the Rockpaw Gang in DeathRealm's crypt.
Indeed it does. But the Rockpaw Gang can respond to sacrifice off the Rider here, which will mean only the Rockpaw is switching sides, which is good. It means
it's
that
good.
The Deathseeker can seek death, and that's what's important in life. That Casualty of War is really good too here.
Takes out the Abomination. It's neither Underworld or Ardent.
And a resource next turn will allow double charge power, but Rockpaw is available here for DeathRealm as well.
Abomination will go ahead and stop 4 damage. DeathRealm doesn't want to go down to 6 health. Still has Massacre and Rockpaw Gang, even though, you know, Deathseeker already has 1 charge power.
Good.
Finds Gemborn Prowler.
Good top deck, wow.
Plays it instead of Massacre. But a charge is going to put a 2nd power onto Deathseeker. How do you deal with that? Rockpaw Gang with Life Drain needs to enter play soon to counteract the Deathseeker, just simply attacking. I don't think DeathRealm touches this Deathseeker ever.
Oh, he does. Goes for the block. He's on 10, so it's kind of scary, I guess. Deathseeker coming back in. Close Coffins coming down, and Close Coffins means that if that Rockpaw Gang does die, it's not coming back.
Rockpaw Gang from hand.
Mm-hmm. The life drain is good here. The flight is good here. What do we see?
but only one troop to sacrifice for it.
There's the centipede of legend. Sacrifices off that Death Seeker, and here we see again this honestly a little bit ridiculous combo. It's free to sacrifice one to replay the Death Seeker in this situation, so we're going to see a lot of blossoms, and potentially if a resource comes off the top, that's going to be four per sacrifice there.
Of course, DeathRealm is holding a massacre that adversely affects the Rotpaw gang. It kills off Gemborn Prowler.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, the centipede.
The massacre is really not good.
But it's either that or death at this point.
I mean, does Life Drain save him from the next swing?
Currently has 14 Blight Blossoms. Life Drain will put him up to 16. And he'll have no blockers. He does have pick up a Vampire Prince.
So he's going for the swing here, massacre and swing. And notably, the Death Seeker isn't on board now, so this is the opportune time, I guess, to use this massacre. Does mean the Rotpaw can't swing in here, but
he could play Vampire Prince and sacrifice it for Rotpaw gang.
I feel like he doesn't need to sacrifice this many times. I feel like this is, I mean, 15-15 is probably high enough.
Well, they're all dying. Might as well. It's only for the turn. And at the end of the turn, the giant centipede's dead as well.
Yeah, so that sacrifice outlet is gone. So this is actually a pretty good little situation for DeathRealm here. The fact that Cyriius used all of the Death Cries and put the Death Seeker back in his hand is very strong.
It does mean Rotpaw gang can't swing in this turn. He looks like he's either playing the Vampire Prince. I was like, he will opt not to gain health, leave that in hand. Vampire Prince is going to eat this, likely going to eat this.
There's another sack outlet, and it's a sack outlet that heals as well.
Oh man.
Death Seeker coming in with another scrounge. Get that rage.
Casualty of war. It's not going to be enough here. I mean, it will be. It won't be. It's good.
Yeah. So it does cost 2 a time. That's worth noting.
It just costs 2.
Every time that combo goes off, it costs 2 resources. 1 for the Harvester, 1 for the Death Seeker. But the combo is back, and that's what's important. We see Rotpaw gang coming in. All of those Vampire Princes flying away. And we have a couple of life drain Rotpaws, which is pretty good, honestly. End phase. 1 ping. And 1 Death Seeker back to the hand. I'm so ready for this shard. Where is this shard? Is that Promiscuous Succubus? GG. Promiscuous Succubus makes this combo so much more insane.
Might as well scrounge. Alright, sacrifice Succubus. Put the Death Crown to Death Seeker. Sacrifice Death Seeker. Get a 6/6. Doesn't need to. Can use the 6/6 as a blocker. It'll avoid the Rotpaw gang. Wants to do it end of turn or if needing a blocker. Or in response to opponent getting removal.
Oh, there's the Carnal Demon. And I'm still ready for this resource next turn. Carnal Demon blocks, and It's good, but there's one of them coming every turn, and the Rot Paw's now off in the void. That was the only 6 health he's gaining this game.
Yeah, up to 14. It's a big chunk of health gain.
There's the resource. Here we go. The true power of the Death Seeker is about to be unlocked. As if 2 Blight Blossoms and 1 Carnal Demon wasn't enough, it's about to get much, much worse.
4 Blight Blossoms and a Carnal Demon. What more could you want?
8 Blight Blossoms and 2 Carnal Demons?
Yeah, that would be pretty good. And I think the Death Seeker is just scrounging every time, increasing that rage, because why not?
Yep, you might want to swing with it one day.
And we can do this one more time.
Okay, cool. A few Blight Blossoms, a few Carnal Demons. That Vampire Princess probably not going to do too much against this, especially with a Casualty of War in hand. And there's the concede. Yeah, when it goes off, it goes off. When it rains, it pours, and that was definitely a storm.
Cyriius 5-2 at the end of round 7 after that match.